Alright guys, this is a 2002 Chevy Duramax 2500 HD. It's an LB7. Got both of the thermostats I'm going to replace. Seen a lot of videos on how to get to this thing. A lot of them have to do with taking off the AC compressor and the oil fill tube. Not going to do either one of those. I really don't like moving these lines, especially on a truck that's 17 years old, so I just got this air conditioner running, so I'm going to leave it intact. I'm going to try to get this housing loose. It's got 4 bolts. There's one there on the front. You got one right down in there and one way back in there. So I'm going to get those loose, and I'm going to there's another connector in the back. It's got an O-ring in it. I'm going to get back in there and take that loose after I get the resonator off. I'm trying to replace these thermostats without taking too much loose. I'm going to try to take that serpentine belt off if I don't have to. Doesn't look like I need. I'm definitely not going to drain all the coolant out of here. Probably let some of it loose until I get that drain plug to kind of dry. We'll see how it goes. Hey, so a lot of guys were asking how to drain the antifreeze out of the truck. So it's the 02 Silverado Duramax 2500 HD. So if you go to the passenger side, right under here, you look up the lower passenger side of the cooler, intercooler pipes right there, and the outlet, there's the intercooler pipe, I think it is, and then the outlet to the water's there. So right there is a little gate for you to open up and drain the Freon, or antifreeze, sorry. There we go. Deck's cool pouring out of the lower right hand side, passenger side of the radiator. So radiator outlet, petcock right there. It's got a little plastic plug that I took out. Again, I'm not going to drain all of it out, but I'm going to drain enough to get the top end of the block empty so I can take out the thermostat. I drained out that much. Deck's cool. That's probably about a gallon. That gave it plenty of room to empty that top coolant head in the thermostat bracket. Okay, I just popped off the bleed port. 12mm bolt right out of the top of the T-stack cover, just to make sure I got enough coolant out of there to get that vacuum, voided out. So when I pop that cover off, it won't just pour out the Freon all over my motor. Again, the difference I'm attempting here, I'm not going to take my AC compressor loose. Don't even have to take the serpentine belt off, because I think I can get to all of it relatively easy and pop that off enough to get the T-stats changed. Again, it's going to be one bolt right back there connected to the inlet pipe. Then you got 4 bolts connecting this thing to the top of the block. And now I've got all 4 of the bolts that are connecting that thermostat cover to the block. Got those off so you can see that wire there. Farthest one's back up under the, hard to focus on that right there, sorry. Back up under that far passenger side edge, so I had to get that off. The next thing I had to do is disconnect that 12mm bolt right there from the inlet pipe to the thermostat housing. So I got that loose. Now it's just time to pry this thing loose and get it off the pipe. So the thing's got to come up and off that pipe. So hopefully I got enough freedom. If not, I might have to loosen that inlet pipe mounting bracket right there, which is always a hassle because you got to disconnect that, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to get enough slack with just one side of it and see if I can get that thing off. Alright, I did go ahead and take the oil filler tube off, so that goes right down there. A couple of 12mm bolts. Took that tube filler off there, and I loosened that bolt back there, just give me a little more slack, because 17 years of O-ring seal on that T-stack cover, pretty tough getting off. You can see how grimy it is right there. So it gave me a little more room once I took that oil filler cap off, loosened that, and I was able to work this thing off. So There's a whole thermostat cover. You can tell the thermostat's been in there 17 years. They're coming apart and stuck wide open. So really the symptoms I had was this thing just won't get to operating temperature in the last year or so. And in the winter, that's kind of a drag. Alright, so I'm going to replace these. Be real careful on the order you put them in. There are two different thermostats, and one of them has some, that back one, it has, you see those holes right there on the top of that thermostat? Those are some special bleed holes. They have to go to the back of the block, so they're facing backwards. So that back thermostat with the bleed holes has kind of an offset look to it, and those bleed holes have to face backwards. Alright, I got all that cleaned up. You can see the blocks all clean, especially those recesses where the gasket goes, and then that O-ring, got to clean it up on the inlet pipe. Also got this all clean, so you millennials use Scotch-Brite, I use steel wool, old school. So got all that mating surface clean for the gaskets, and then the inlet right there, make sure that it gets all cleaned up for that O-ring on the inlet pipe. Alright, back together it goes. Alright, I got these thermostats installed. You can see that rear one has those bleed through holes. Again, they face towards the back. It's a little different shape too. It's going to offset. This one's pretty symmetrical. So got those in there. Make sure those gaskets get in those recesses real well. Got to go get a new O-ring for that inlet pipe. Alright, got it all back together. I basically just reversed the order. I did put some dielectric grease, this stuff, on the O-ring as that outlet pipe went back into the housing. So again, that bolt right back there. Okay, that is the outlet pipe going out of the thermostat housing. So the housing right there has got an O-ring in the back of it. So dielectric grease just to get that O-ring in there, and then I just reverse the process, put the screws back in there, put the oil fill pipe back on, retightened that water pipe bracket there. That gave me, just loosening that gave me plenty of slack to get that thing back together. So all back together. The drain bolt is out. I'm fixing to pour the deck spool back in there, and I'll pour it in until that overflows and it'll be full. Alright, motor running, checking for leaks. Make sure your outflow gasket's not leaking back there. So right back there behind that bolt. Make sure nothing's leaking around the housing. Not a lot of pressure on these systems, but on this system, but we certainly don't want to leak. Right there's that connection with that O-ring. The outflow pipe's going back into the thermostat housing. Thermostat housing looks good. Nothing coming out either side. Oops, sorry. Nothing coming out either side.